Hello, creative coders. Welcome to our channel Creative Coding. I hope you all are doing great. So, this is yet another episode of our series JavaScript mini project, and in this, we are going to create a multiple drop down selector, which is this. So, as you can see, there is a drop down, and when you select something inside that drop down using the checkbox, you can see all of those are coming in the select tab, and when you unselect something it will get disappeared from that. So this is a basic functionality that every website has, and we're going to create it today. And if you're new to our channel, my name is Shikhar Bania. I'm an educator, mentor, and a web developer. You can find me on Instagram as CreoCodigo, where I post content related to web development daily. So without any further ado, let's get started. So let's talk about Newton School first. Newton School is a platform which provides individuals a career in tech. It has courses specially designed for freshers, individuals, working professionals, and even women who don't have any knowledge in tech. Around 300 companies hire from Newton School, and Newton School also provides a pay after placement policy under which you don't have to pay anything to Newton School until and unless you are placed with a bare minimum of 5 lakh CTC. Sounds great, right? Let's talk about another initiative taken by Newton School called Launchpad. So, Launchpad is for those who want to start their coding journey from scratch. It has all the courses that you need to start a coding journey like Java, Python, data structures, JavaScript, Node.js, SQL, you name it, they have it. And the main advantage of using this Launchpad is you get a certificate of completion, you get a developer community, you got the best instructors to teach you, you also got a hands-on experiences, and you will become job ready. And all of this Newton School is providing for free. Yes, so don't forget to check that out. So here we are in the code editor, and as you can see, I've given the title as multiple checkbox dropdown, and I've included the jQuery CD in here since we're going to be using jQueries. Okay, so let's start by writing some HTML code. First, I want a DL. So DL means description list. Okay. Below this, you can add description title and description data. Okay. So DL of class, let's say drop down. Let's close this. And inside this, I'm going to add a data title. Okay. Let's close this, and inside this I'm going to add an anchor tag with href hash since we don't want to redirect anywhere else. Okay, and inside this let's add a span of class hide. We are going to use this hide in JavaScript, so let's not worry about this class right now. And let's close it, and inside this let's say select. As you can see, we got this anchor tag as select. Below this, I want to add a p tag with class data for a better list. Okay, and let's close it. So this p class will contain the data which we are going to select in dropdown. Okay, so that's why it is empty right now. But in JavaScript, we are going to add data when we click on that radio button. So our DT is completed. Now below this, I want a DL. Let's close it. DL means, sorry, DL, not DL, DD. We want a data description. Okay. So DD. And inside this, I want a div with class multi-select. Okay. Now this will contain all of our drop-down data. So since it will be a drop down, we are going to use unordered list to display those drop down. Okay. And our unordered list required a list, so li, and inside this list let's add those checkboxes. So input of type checkbox, and we have to give it a value. So first one will be HTML5. Okay, HTML5. And as you can see, we got this as a checkbox of HTML5. In the same way, I'm going to copy this, paste it below. Okay. And I'll edit this later. Let me first complete the HTML. So outside this data description, I want to add a button which calls for submit. So we got this button. Okay. So our HTML part is complete, and I'm going to change these values later. So let's style this in CSS. Okay, so as you can see, I have edited the data. First one is HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, Angular, Vue, and GitHub. Okay, so this will be the data in our dropdown. And I have also imported the Roboto font using Google Font. So let's start styling our web page. So first, let's target the body section. Let's change the font family to Roboto. Let's change the background F6, F7, FC. Okay. I want all of the color to be black initially. Let's not worry about the color yet. Okay. Let's add a padding of 50 pixel to our body section. Okay, so it will add 50 left, 50 top, 50 right, 50 bottom. Okay. And I want to add a margin 0 and auto, 0 for top and bottom, auto for left and right. Okay. And let's specify a width of 300 pixel. Okay, so that's it. Let's come to our drop down on this class. Okay, so dot drop down, and I want to set a position of absolute. I want it to have a top value of 50% and then transform it and translate y to minus 50%. So it will come at the center of our web page. Okay, let me resize the editor here. Okay, now let's target the drop down DD and drop down DT. Okay, so this will be the DD and this will be the DT. So we are targeting both of them. And inside this, I just want to set the default margin as 0 and default padding as 0. Okay, so as you can see, there is no space around between our web page. Okay, let's target the drop down UL. Inside the drop down, there is UL, unordered list. And in this, I just want to add some margin of -1 to top, left, right, and bottom will be 0. Okay. Next, let's target the DD inside dropdown and let's set the position to relative. So this is all just adjustment to our website. Okay. Next, let's target the drop down A and drop down A when visited. Okay, so whenever you click on any of these links and you visit on them, this visited pseudo element will call. And in this, let's change the color. Let's say black, so 000. So as you can see, the color got changed. I don't want any text decoration, so this will be none. As you can see, the underline got removed. Okay. I don't want any outline, so none. Font size will be 16 pixel. Okay. And I want to add a border radius property of 15 pixel. Next, let's target the drop down inside dt of A. Inside this dt there is A. And in this, let me change the background color hash B74096. As you can see, we got this background color to our anchor tag. Okay. Next, I want to display it as block. I want to add some padding properties. So 8 pixel, 20 pixel, 8 pixel for the top, 20 pixel for left and right. For left, 5 pixel for right, and 10 pixel for bottom. Okay. Let me increase the width of this to 75 pixel. Okay, so the width got increased. Next, let me add a minimum height to it, 95 pixel. Sorry, 25 pixel. Okay. And line height will be 24 pixel. I don't want any border, so border will be 0 and overflow will be hidden. Okay. Let's add a text align property to center. So this will be at the center. And as you can see, the cursor is okay. So cursor is changing. So you don't have to change the cursor. Okay. And now let's target all of these UL. Also let's change the color as well. So font, sorry, color will be white. So hash 000, sorry, FFF. Okay, so color is not changing. Let it be. Let's add this above here and remove this. Okay, let me add a text, sorry, letter spacing here of 2 pixel. Okay, so this looks great. Now let's target the UL. So dot drop down inside dd there is UL. Okay, and I want to change the background color to hash this. All of these got a background color. Let's add a border radius of 15 pixel. So the border radius got radius of 15 pixel. Okay. Let's add a margin top of 10%, let's say 5%. Okay, and I want the color to be white, so color hash FFF. As you can see, there are dots present since it is a unordered list. So by default, these are disk. Okay, so I don't want any list style, so this will be none. Okay, so as you can see, it got removed. Let me add a left of 0, a padding of 15 pixel. So 15 pixel padding will be there. Okay. Next, I want a top of 2 pixel. Let's add a margin of, actually we have added the margin top, so we don't need that. Okay. Let's add the position to absolute. So as you can see, it will over the submit button since it is absolute. Okay. Next, I want it to have a width. Let's say 280 pixel. Okay, so the width got increased. Let's specify a height of 100 pixel. So as you can see, the height is decreased, but we can't see the next element there. So we have to specify the overflow to auto. So as you can see, now it is scrollable. Okay. All right. Next, I want to set the opacity to 0.7. So it got a little dim. And lastly, I want to display property as none. Since we are not going to display it initially, whenever user click on this select, then I want it to get displayed. So initially the display will be none. Now let's target the last thing, that will be button. Okay. So width will be 302 pixel. Width got increased. Okay. Let's add a margin of 15 pixel above, and left right will be 0. Next, I want the background color to be transparent. I want it to have a border 2 pixel solid, and color will be this. Okay. Let's include some inner space between them. So for that, we'll use padding property. Let's say 5 pixel or else 15 pixel. I don't know. Okay, this looks great. Or else let's add 0. Okay, this looks great. Let me add border radius property of 5 pixel like we did for this. Like we did previously, we have added 15 pixels, sorry. Okay. And let me change the font weight to bold. Okay. Let's transform it. So text transform will be uppercase. Okay. I want it to have a letter spacing of 2 pixel. And I guess that's it. What else do we want? We have added border, we have added padding, we have added margin also. Let's change the color to hash this. Okay. So now this looks great. Let's add some hover effect to it. So button colon hover. And inside this, basically we just want to change the background. to this and the color of our text to be white. So as you can see, when I'm hovering over it, the background is changing and the color of the text is changing. But this is happening too fast. We need to add a transition property, let's say for 0.5 second and for all. Okay, so this looks great. All right. Now we have to add the functionality of this drop down. Whenever user click on this select, we need to display the drop down, and whenever user clicks on any element, we need to display it here. Okay, so let's do that in JavaScript. Okay, so we have styled our web page in CSS. Okay, now let's try to apply the functionality. The first functionality that we want is whenever user click on this, we want to show all of these input checkboxes. Okay, so let's try to find a way to add that functionality. Let me adjust the screen. Okay. All right. So first, in we are going to use jQuery, and in jQuery, if you want to select any HTML tag, you're going to use dollar sign, and inside the bracket, you have to specify that class name. So I want to select drop down, which is this, and inside this, we want to select this anchor tag. Okay. So drop down inside DT, there is anchor tag A, and whenever user on click on this, click is the event here. So whenever this is get clicked, I want to call a function. Okay, so whenever user click on this class, this function is going to get called, and inside this I want to show all of these UL unordered list. So it is present inside DD, which is present inside dropdown. So dollar dot dropdown, which is present under DD and UL. Okay, so dot, I want to show it, but I want to try to add some animation to it. So jQuery provides us with a function called slide toggle. Okay, and inside this you just have to provide how your animation should or the speed of your animation. So I want it to have a fast animation. So this slide toggle is provided by JavaScript. So let's see how this happens. Whenever you just click on this, you can see the drop down coming, and whenever you click on this, it got disappeared. Okay, so this is the effect which is provided by jQuery using this slide toggle function. So our first functionality is completed. Now let's jump to the second functionality, which is whenever user click on any of these checkboxes, we want to display that value inside our box, which is this select. Okay, so let's try to incorporate that. So dollar, I want to select this multi-select class, and inside this all of the input box which have the type checkboxes. Okay, so let me repeat that. We are going to select the class multi-select. Inside that multi-select, we want to select all of the input box which has the type checkboxes. Okay, so for that, quote dot multi-select. Okay, then all of the input with with type as checkbox. Okay, so type equals to checkbox. So this will be a single brace, and these two will be in curly braces, double quotes. Okay, so whenever user click on this, I want to call a function. So whenever user click on this, okay, I want to call a function. Inside this, we have to pass an event e. Sorry. Okay, so whenever user click on this, I want to call a function which will be this. So first, I want to get that particular value. This. Okay. So for that, let's create a variable title. Okay, and inside this I want to select whichever is clicked. Okay, so whenever user click on HTML, there is a keyword this which is called, and it will point all of these value into this variable. Okay, so we're going to get this dot closest is the function given by JavaScript which will search for the closest thing inside our multi-select input checkbox. Okay, and it will check for multi-select class. Okay, and it will going to find that input with type equals check box. Okay, all right, and it will going to pass the value. So using this whole line, we are going to get the value of, suppose if I click this, so this will get called, and this HTML file will get stored in title. Okay, so this is the whole code for that, getting the value. And after this, I want to add another thing of title. Let me add this below. So title equals to, and I just want that value. So dollar this dot val plus there will be a hyphen. So all of the data that we are going to select, which it will be get stored in this title variable. Okay. Now let's use it. For that, we're going to check first. What we're going to check, whether the selected part, sorry, uh, whether the selected part is actually selected or not. Okay, so whenever we click on it, there is a pseudo function called checked, which will get assigned to this HTML. So using that, we can identify whether that particular thing is selected or checked or not. Okay, so if this is selected, we don't want to display anything, but if it is not selected and it is clicked, then we want to show it here. So that is the condition. So if dollar is dot is checked, this will see if that selected part is checked or not. Okay, so since it is a pseudo class, we need to have the colon here. So if this is clicked, I want to do this, and if it is not, I want to do this. So if it is checked, okay, I want to add this inside our select part. Okay, so for that, let me create a variable called HTML. Since we're going to add some HTML inside this P, this P will contain all the data. So for that, we're going to write this HTML, and let's add some HTML tags. So span, okay, with title equals to colon plus, here we'll add the title, plus this. Then after this, I want to add the main title, which is going to be seen here, plus let's close that span. Okay. So this is the title and sorry, variable HTML. Now let's add that in our list here. So dot list, sorry, dot list dot append. Here comes the HTML. Okay. So this will add this HTML tag inside this list, and let's see if this is correct or not. As you can see, whenever we click on it, it is getting added, right? We haven't written the else part, so whenever I unchecked something, it is not getting disappeared. We're going to do that in else part. Also, I don't want to see this select. So for that, we just want to select it in jQuery dot hide. That's the purpose why we have given this class as hide, and I just want to hide it. Okay, so whenever I click on this, it will get disappeared. Okay, so now let's add the unchecked functionality inside this else part. So inside this else, I just want to target the span, which is this. So dot span, okay, of title equals to of title equals to plus title plus that's it. Okay, so it will check for that title. All right. Sorry, this will come, and it will going to remove it from the HTML. Okay, it will going to remove it, and we don't want to see it inside our select part. So we are going to return equals to whatever is present inside our hide class, and we are going to assign that in our anchor tag. So dollar dot dropdown dta dot append ret. Okay, so I guess that's it. Let's see this happening. Let's create HTML, CSS. Okay, and when we unchecked it, okay, so there is some error. I think that's why. Okay, so when I click on it, I guess we forgot something to add here. Let me check. Okay, we have added dot, sorry. So now, as you can see, when I unchecked something, you can see it is getting removed. So we have created a multi-selector dropdown using jQuery. I really hope you like this video and thanks for watching till the end. And I think you might have a little bit idea on how we created the functionalities. So if you have any doubt related to this animation, comment down under the comment section, or you can contact me on these social media handles. I would love to help you out. Don't forget to check out the Newton School website to learn more about them. And please like, share, and subscribe our channel if you want to see more content and more functionalities using web development. So keep learning, keep growing. Thank you.